BBC News with Stuart McIntosh. One of the leaders of a right-wing plot to kidnap the governor of Michigan has been sentenced to 16 years in jail. Adam Fox and his co-conspirators plan to seize Gretchen Whitmer at gunpoint and put her on trial on bogus treason charges. President Putin has signed a decree banning oil sales to countries that comply with a Western-imposed price cap on Russian crude shipments. It'll come into force in February. China says it will allow mainland residents to travel abroad from the 8th of January. It's one of Beijing's last COVID restrictions to be lifted. Thousands of people in New York State are digging their way out of more than a metre of snow that fell during a deadly Christmas blizzard. At least 60 people are known to have died, half of them in New York. The US Supreme Court has again extended legislation that prevents undocumented migrants from crossing the border from Mexico. The order was originally brought in as a coronavirus safety measure during the Trump administration. There have been calls for a newly elected Republican congressman to resign after he admitted embellishing his resume. During his campaign, George Santos, who represents a district on Long Island, said he'd worked for major banks and graduated from university. The UN Security Council has condemned recent Taliban restrictions on women. It said limitations imposed on female aid workers in Afghanistan contradicted the expectations of the international community. Nearly 60 people have been killed during 4 days of fighting in South Sudan. Blood feuds and clashes over cattle and land are common in South Sudan. The top parks administrator in Thailand has been arrested on suspicion of corruption. The official is alleged to have taken bribes from his subordinates to ensure that they weren't transferred to remote areas. Police say they found almost $150,000 in cash at his office. BBC News.